Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Lorene. Whew, this week has been crazy. But I made a commitment to myself that I would try to post a video once a week. And I will tell you, since I've made that commitment, you can imagine every obstacle that I have been faced with. Oh my God. But I'm determined because the feedback I've been getting, people said it's been a blessing to them and it's been an on time encouragement. So for that reason is why I'm going to keep pushing and keep pushing. But I wanted to come on here today just to encourage you and tell you that you can make it. And though the storms of life are raging, you got a hiding place, and that's in God. I have to sometimes, much as I try to get away from being so preachy on these things, I can't help it, y'all. I'm just a preacher at heart. Um, uh, the Lord is my life, and this is who I am. So, one thing about it being my channel, you can always have the option to listen or not listen. But once again, when we're going through things and going through struggles and going through the storms of life, sometimes it seems like you're all by yourself. Or is it just me? There's some battles you got people with you and everybody band together, but then there's that one battle that you got to go out on your own. You know, you got to endure it yourself because sometimes some things that you cannot really explain to the person that you would love to explain it to because they're not really getting it. They're not really understanding what you're going through and how it is affecting you. And sometimes when you find that you're trying to speak a language with people that should understand your dialect and they're not comprehending or making light of it, you have to learn how to just take those things to the Lord in prayer and and be cool with it. Don't have an attitude with anybody, but just know that there's some battles that you have to go in yourself and you cannot have a crowd. But in those times and in those moments, you find out what you're really made of. You find out what you're really made of. You find out how strong you really are. You find out what is at the core of who you are. Um, I've always been a person most people meet me, I'm a very likable person, but then I'm a person that's always been ready to throw down when it came to something that I was very passionate about. That might be hard to believe to some people, but because if you don't have a resolve, if you don't have a conviction about something, you will fall for anything, right? But recently, right now, like as I mentioned before, that I've been going through something for 4.5 years, and today I've got some negative feedback concerning it, and I have fought a good fight, a good fight. When I tell you, when the average person would have given up, I went into my corner, but I didn't go in the corner crying. Went in the corner to plan, to strategize, and I came back out the corner and fought a little bit more. But today, I had to realize that now the Lord is wanting me to let it go. Now, someone might ask, well, why didn't you let it go before? How do you know God wanted you to fight on through it? Some things we do take to God in prayer, and we have to pray through it until the end of it. But then there's some things that are in your power that you have to exercise your faith. You have to exercise the things that you know. And you have to apply those things yourself. Everything is not spiritual. Some things are natural. Some things that we're praying about we can do because God has empowered us to do it. But it's knowing when those times are appropriate. There's some things that the battle is the Lord. He don't even want you to fight. He don't want you to touch it. But then there's some things he wants you to engage in the battle. All right. So at one moment in my life, I had to stay engaged because as long as I stayed engaged, he was working me out in the gym. He was working me out in the gym of my faith. He was working me out in the gym of my perseverance. He was working me out in the gym of my patience. He was working me out. I regretted and I hated the trial, but it was growing me. He was pruning me, because we are known by the fruits that we bear. And sometimes for more fruit to grow, you have to prune the tree. You have to prune the bush that there might be more fruit and the fruit would remain. So I had to go through that trial. But now I'm coming out on the end of it, and I'm seeing that while I got this negative report today, I had a confidence and I had a peace about it because I know that I have fought a good fight and the Lord is going to work it out. Now, this is where I end. My training is over, and I'm going to let God take the rest of the way because the battle at this point is His to resolve because I've done everything humanly possible. And so I say that to say to you, fight. Don't give up. I don't care what you're going through, what it looks like. As long as you know that you're in the right and you're standing for the right and you do something, don't back up. But then there comes a time when it goes beyond you and you feel that you can't do anymore. And the Lord, and you seek Him in prayer, and He'll let you surrender it over to Him. He'll let you know when it's over and that you give it to Him. Or sometimes He'll send regime. He will send some people to come upgird you and uphold you, and give you more strength to maybe fight on. But whether you're entering into a battle or coming out of the battle, I bless God that we're going to have the spoils. We're going to have everything that God has designed for us to have. Amen. Even if we don't have it physically, spiritually, He is creating a new creature. He's creating a strong being, a strong person. That, some things you go through is not because of you, because you're so bad. It's because of ministry. It might be to encourage somebody else. I've been able to come on here and do these videos because of the things that I've gone through in my life. But I never had the attitude like, why me all the time, Lord? It was because He made it very clear. It was because of ministry's sake. You're going to be a blessing to others. So sometimes you got to know how to minister to others because of the things that you have already come through. So I said all this to say, despite what you're going through today, just know that you're not the victim. You're the victor. And if you are entering into a season where things are not how you want it to be, hold on, brother. Hold on, sister. You're going to come out, and you're going to come out with the spoils. Amen. Have a great day.